This is Dr. Andrew Jones. In this edition of Veterinary Secrets, I'm going to be discussing raw food. Is it right for your dog? I'm going to go over the scientific studies addressing raw food, show you how to feed raw to your dog, and lastly, addressing the question, should you feed only raw, or can you just feed it some of the time? Here's what you need to know to ensure that the raw food is both healthy and safe. And this is a dog pictured here, happily enjoying a raw meaty bone. For thousands of years, our dogs and cats have subsisted on diets of raw meats and human dinner scraps. And it's only been in the last 60 years or so that commercially prepared pet foods, primarily kibble, has grown in popularity and is now supplanting the more natural diets of our pets. Definitely the scientific community has differing beliefs on the benefits of raw pet food. And this is what some of the veterinary experts have to say. In one study, which looked at the nutritional adequacy of these diets, found supposed significant inadequacies and imbalances. The most important, they claim, was a likely altered calcium to phosphorus ratio, which could have devastating effects on bone development, especially in growing pets. Another large-scale review article examined historical reports of bacterial pathogens, and they found bacteria such as Salmonella, Campylobacter, E. coli, Yersinia, Clostridium, Staph, and Bacillus. They claim that the risk-to-benefit ratio of feeding raw foods weighs heavily on the risk side. In other words, the risk of feeding raw food, given the scientific information presently available, very greatly outweighs any perceived benefits. Yet, you really have to stop and think about this, as there's been no studies conducted really assessing the benefits of raw food diets for dogs and cats. Many veterinarians, including myself and dog owners, say the evidence really speaks for itself. This is me pictured with my dog Lewis, and here's some of the perceived benefits what I've observed and many other dog owners have seen from feeding raw food. Some of the health benefits: shinier hair coat, eliminated dog odor, better body muscle to fat ratios, cleaner teeth and breath, decreased itching. There's a healthy looking pup who has happened to be eating raw. Normalized energy levels, improved urinary tract health, better resistance to infections, increased mobility with a decrease in arthritic pain, decreased allergy symptoms, and lower stool volume. There's another healthy looking dog on raw food. I want to address some of the concerns. The number one concern is foodborne illnesses such as Salmonella and E. coli and the spread of these to people. Other concerns include choking on bones and perforation of the stomach or intestines from bones. Feeding raw foods to sick or debilitated pets is another concern. In truth, Salmonella and E. coli are not well documented concerns for your pets. The stomach has a very highly acidic pH, making it very difficult for these organisms to survive. The short digestive tract of dogs also lowers the risk. And this makes me think about cleaning and hygiene. The best way to protect yourself is simple: using common sense and practicing good hygiene, washing everything well, making sure your hands are washed. You're not cutting those vegetables on that contaminated meat surface, and washing your pet's bowls after feeding raw. An additional concern is choking on bones and intestinal obstruction or perforation. And the big thing to prevent this is chopping up these bones into much smaller pieces prior to feeding. So how can you incorporate raw food into your pet's diet? You know, a home raw diet is and should be very simple. When you're preparing a raw diet, you want to keep some of the basic food groups in mind, which include meat, chopped bones, vegetables, are the primary part of what you're going to be feeding your pet, along with perhaps an organ meat once or twice a week. So here's a picture of some very tasty looking healthy raw food. So if you're going to prepare raw food on your own, make sure you feed from the 4 principal raw food groups: meat, bones, organ meats, fruits, and vegetables. And there's raw chicken and chicken backs. It's easiest to feed chicken as the meat and bone source if you're preparing the meat fresh. Chicken backs and thighs are inexpensive, a great way to start. After purchasing the chicken, you can wrap each piece individually and freeze it. Defrost them overnight and then chop them up in the morning. By defrosting it overnight, it allows it to become slightly soft but not rubbery and easiest to chop. Some raw advocates also claim that if you don't exclusively feed raw, your dog won't get any of the health benefits. Yet in my opinion, you can still get substantial benefits of feeding raw at least once or twice a week. And picture there is one of my older dogs, Jesse. He's now nearing 16 years old. He eats raw once, sometimes twice a week, and he's done phenomenally, really avoiding the veterinarian period. Thank you for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets. What I want you to do right now is click that link in the box below, and I'll be sending you my free books and videos on how to heal your pets at home with my top natural remedies.